Are we rolling? Are we going? Should we do a radio interview backstage at the XL? Are we ready to go? What's happening? Is that funny?
Dude, I know.
I like it. I'm trying to be a little funny, a little
I like it.
comedic at the moment. It's Miles, the DJ, backstage with Brandon Urie of Panic at the Disco.
How you doing?
Man, this is a big deal for you tonight. Like,
Yeah.
pretty much a sold-out show in St. Paul.
It's crazy.
12 years into being an artist, man. How's that feel for you?
It's amazing. It's unreal. Like, yeah, it kind of blows me away to think it's been 12, almost 13 years.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. It's the coolest thing.
Let's talk longevity for a second, if
Sure.
we can,
Yeah.
because your first record dropped in 05.
Yeah.
And at the time, there were a lot of bands, a lot of artists out, your peers, who, you know, frankly aren't doing a lot lately, or maybe they've broken up, and the ones that are sort of like on a nostalgia tip right now, if I can say. So you've sort of, that's just my observation, maybe I'm wrong, but you've done this thing where Panic at the Disco have always been around, you've always made records, you never really went away, and you're at this level now where you're selling out arenas across the country, and not doing it with nostalgia. You're doing it because you're relevant with the music you're making now.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've thought about or you've noticed? Can you speak on that a little bit, or am I just completely off?
No. I mean, it's definitely like, it's all subjective, because for me, yeah, it's been an ongoing thing, you know, like always touring. Just, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to keep doing that. And luckily, you know, our fans have allowed me to do that. They've been so supportive the entire time. New ones have come along, old ones have stayed. So it's been amazing. Like, I'm just, you know, super grateful for everywhere they've taken me, and it's just amazing to be here at this point.
Right.
Because this is really like where I get to have the most fun, getting to meet fans, getting to, you know, build up production for a stage and give them a show that I feel I've always wanted to do.
Sure.
And so finally getting to this point, it's just like, it's magnanimous, man. It's crazy.
And there's been constant reinvention with every record, right?
Yeah.
Especially this last one, Death of a Bachelor. Death of a Bachelor came out, I guess, a little over a year ago now.
Yeah.
Right? And there are sounds and experimentation. Did I say that right,
Yeah,
Laura?
yeah.
Did I got that?
Yeah.
Trying to do it. It's
We experiment.
It's a major interview right now, right? But I'm just saying, like, songs like Death of a Bachelor, like there are things you haven't done before. So reinventing seems to be really important for you, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
what was the approach going into this record and that song in particular?
Yeah, that one in particular, I was wanting to write more of a jazz, leaning towards Sinatra type of song, and I did it. You know, I wrote this thing on piano, and it was just piano and vocal, kind of doing like a loungy thing. I was drinking a lot of scotch, a lot of whiskey.
As one does.
As one does if you're
Sure.
trying to do Sinatra.
Yeah.
So just kind of messing around with jazz chords. Had the song basically written, but I heard it a different way. I didn't know what I was trying to accomplish at the end of it. I was getting that 5-point cycle with an artist where you just like get so frustrated and you basically want to kill the song.
Yeah.
So before killing the song, I was gonna like reinvent it. I was gonna take the vocal that I wrote for it and put it into a beat that I had and just kind of like do a DJ thing and like mix it up and see if that would inspire a new melody or something. So I put it into the beat that I had, and it just lined up perfectly. It was in like the same key. It was really bizarre how it just married instantly. And
Yeah.
It was just a happy accident.
And you're pretty much the sole creative force behind Panic at the Disco now, right?
Yeah,
Before there were times where it was a full-fledged band. Now you're sort of like, to compare it to something like Trent Reznor with 9 Inch Nails, right?
Sure.
Like it's a
I mean,
solo
that's very flattering. But yeah.
project of sorts,
Sure.
but you know, it's still presented as a band on stage. Is there something liberating? Is there something about you being essentially kind of a solo artist now with how you make new music that allowed you to make a song like Death of a Bachelor that you may have not been able to do before?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that's a song I definitely couldn't have done in the past, whether it was through influence or through compromise with band members. But now it feels, like for me doing stuff, I've always written on my own and then would bring it to the band, and then we would, majority vote would rule, oh yeah, this makes sense, this sounds like the best idea.
Yeah.
So it's more of a democracy, and now it's just a dictatorship, and it's
That's right.
great.
One person, pretty much, right?
I'm a tyrant. No. It's amazing. I get to do I get to expire all the ideas I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I get to spend more time going through them and picking my favorites. So it's just fun.
I had some questions from Twitter, if we can maybe knock those out really quick.
Absolutely.
I went on the internet and said, hey, I'm going to be talking to Brandon. What would you like to know? So I got a couple we can knock out. I don't want to take too much of your time.
No, let's do it.
We got some vocal warm-ups coming up soon. That's right. At Grayson DeWolf asks, what advice would you give for emerging artists trying to be noticed by the bigger fish in the music industry? Up-and-coming artists, how do you get noticed?
How do you become the bigger fish? Man, it's tough because Panic's situation was really bizarre. We got lucky, but I would say as soon as you get that luck, as soon as you get your foot in the door, once you get that opportunity, then you really work your ass off. You just have to work.
Yeah.
And you know, we knew that was important from the beginning, but you never know when that moment's going to strike. And so for us, it was putting stuff online and hoping that Pete from Fall Out Boy would hear it. And we knew he was starting up a sub-label, so we were just pleading, like, please listen to this song.
Sure.
And then once he did, you know, he visited us and we got a deal out of that. But for me, it's just more about writing the songs. I spend more time just working on that, especially in the beginning. We weren't old enough to play shows, especially in Vegas, because the age limit was 21 to even go into these places. So we weren't allowed to play in most of the venues. So we really didn't have a place to go except for rehearsal space. So we would just always, after school, you know, I'd go to my job. After work, I would steal food from my work and I would bring it to the guys, and we would just sit around and listen to music and write, and we spent a lot of time together just making sure that we really were excited about what we were writing, and that was a huge goal for us. So that remains for me.
What was your job before you were a full-time musician?
I worked at a place called Tropical Smoothie in Las Vegas.
Lovely.
Smoothie hut and rap. Yeah, I would make some wraps and smoothies. It was in a very posh area, very nice. I had to drive 45 minutes from where I lived to go to this place that my parents vied for me to go to high school, because they're like, it's going to be a better school for you.
Okay.
I'm so glad they did. It was public school, but I drove up to this nicer place, and around that area it was just like, you know, trophy wives and their poodles and like all these maniacs.
I know Vegas.
Guys.
Oh yeah,
It was
sure.
a good time. It was a good time. I had a great time.
You mentioned Pete Wentz. Are you guys still tight? I mean, you and Fall Out Boy kind of came up
No,
around
he's
the
the
same
worst.
time.
No, I love that guy. No, we're best friends, man.
Oh, you are? Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I see him all the time. He's always just giving encouragement. What's crazy though about Pete is, like, you know, what taught me a lot of good notions about the business is that don't be too business about it. He was more just familial. It was like a big brother taking you under his wing and just showing you the ropes. Like, hey man, if you do this choice, you might go down this road and that will happen. If you go down this road, this will be the consequence. So maybe just weigh your options. And that really meant a lot to me. It was like, okay, I can do whatever I want, just got to weigh my options. I love that.
Let's do some more Twitter questions right here. At Golden Days asks,
Good name.
This kind of goes back to our conversation about your fans and how devoted they are, and it must blow you away, but she asks, how do you feel about me coming all the way from Texas to see your show tonight?
Tonight in St. Paul, that's incredible. Thank you, Golden Days. That's seriously the coolest thing ever. But, I mean, it blows my mind that people still would want to come see a Panic show in the best way possible. It's just astonishing to me. So the fact that they would travel that far is amazing.
It's like our first day of snow, too, in like 2 months.
I saw that.
Well,
I think we brought that, so I apologize for that. But
it's all right.
I'm glad you came from Texas.
We'll make up for it later on the stage here at the XL. Let's do another one. At Ali BXLL. This was my favorite question, actually.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about turning your albums into a Broadway musical? Because that's her dream.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it. I've wanted to do theater, you know, live music theater and Broadway for a very long time. So I'm trying to get my foot in the door right now.
Is that right?
With some people, yeah. But turning albums into it, that would be so wild. I mean, Green Day did it after, they had how many albums?
That was American Idiot. American Idiot
albums.
was their 1, 2, 3, 4, like their 6th or 7th record at that point.
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we might have enough stuff under our belt to get started on that. I actually had a couple fans, one in particular I just met last week, who had given me a script like a couple years ago where she had written out a Broadway play, and it was really well written. But I was like, I'm useless for this because I don't know anybody. So I was like, hopefully maybe in the future we could reach out to somebody and try to get this in the works. But yeah, there's some amazingly talented people out there that are fans of the band. So
in preparation, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I'm not a professional.
No,
I'm really trying. I've been doing this.
I blabber on, man.
I love it, man. It makes my interview a lot easier to do with you. Some bands don't talk as much, so it's much appreciated.
That's true.
But in preparation for this conversation, I had read that you have sort of dabbled into some outside of music projects.
Yeah.
What are those? Can we talk about that at all?
Yeah, dude. In LA, I've done a couple movie auditions. There was one that I went to, I think this was probably my second audition, and I don't think I ever got the email that was supposed to have the script in it. So I got the idea of what the movie was about, and I showed up, no script. I didn't know anything about the movie. I just showed up like I'm Tom Cruise, just like, all right, you guys want to see me? You going to put me in the movie? But they were just like, do you have the script? And I was like, I didn't get one. And they're like, okay. And so they gave me one on the spot. I read through a couple pages and I was like, and I just read it like cold read. It was so bad. And after that I was like, yeah, maybe I should prep for the next audition. So I haven't gone back since and done an audition.
So you just kind of went cold turkey. Just
went
like, I got this.
So
I'm a guy.
in, dude, it was brutal.
Yeah.
And I hate that it's like you go into a room, there's like 3 strangers that you've never met before who are all just like, all right, make me laugh. And I'm like, I'm not a comedian. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it a
Like,
comedy
super
you were
nervous.
writing for?
No, it was like there's like
Reading
there's
for?
comedic points in the film, but yeah, it's supposed to be a horror movie, but it was just bad. It was bad.
Okay.
It was really, really bad.
Maybe one day.
Maybe
we'll
one
see you in
day,
a
if I
B-movie horror kind of situation.
Gotta get my act together.
I'll get you out of here on this. I don't want to take too much
Okay.
more of your time, but I got to ask you about Weezer. You went on tour with them last year. It didn't come to the Twin Cities. They came separately, and now you're here now, so it's all good. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I know the Blue Album was a big record for you growing up. I read that you stole your sister's cassette,
I
and
did.
like me, I was obsessed with that record too. That band means so much to me. So
Absolutely.
for you being a fan, I want to live through you for a second. I mean, really, like, what was it like going on tour with them? And I'll say as well, I talked to Brian last summer about it, and he gave you guys a lot of credit for bringing your fans to the shows and making that work. So I think you gave them some more fans.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
It was just incredible. Like I had met Rivers 7 years prior to that tour, and meeting him, we were like doing a songwriting session. So I was just going in as a writer.
Okay.
And I don't think he knew anything about the band or anything. So I went in there and we wrote like half the song, and I told him, all right, man, this is gonna be weird, but I have to tell you, like, I love Weezer. Blue Album I learned how to play guitar and drums to that record. I learned what harmonies were to that album. Like, it's just an honor to be writing with you, and I'm kind of shitting my pants right now. So thank you for that. And he was so cool about it. And then we talked about it a little bit more, and then cut to the tour. And that was just because I had joked, like, maybe, 2 years after the first writing session with my management, I was like, hey, it'd be cool if we got Weezer to do a co-headline with us, right? And he was like, yeah, dream on, buddy. And then cut to the tour, it was like, oh my God, this is crazy that this is happening. But they, like you were saying, us being able to bring fans to them and them doing the same, looking out and seeing an older crowd just made me more excited. Like, this is Weezer's show. Like, they closed every night. It was just an honor to share that stage, man. Like, it's weird. It's daunting to even think. I still dream about that. It's so
I bet,
crazy.
yeah.
But it was the coolest tour we've ever done up to now. Because tonight's gonna be crazy.
What a life, man. Good for you. I'm very happy for you and all the
Thanks,
success and reinventing. And, I saw a flyer today on Twitter from a show from '09 you did here with Blink and Fall Out Boy. And you guys were second to last on the bill. Now you're headlining by yourself, sold out show. So congrats on all the success. Thank you for the time. Brandon, Panic at the Disco. Go 96.3, Miles the DJ. Thanks for watching.